Just put these in one at a time. They're all in the trays. Next, I'll just cover them with dirt, make sure they stay moist, and leave them here for 10 days, 2 weeks, however long it takes for them to sprout. Hi guys, it's Erin from Ginger's Florals. Today is a gorgeous February day. It's a little chilly, but that's normal. The sun's out and I'm loving it. So today I wanted to take you guys along. We're going to plant the rest of our ranunculus. You can see here we have all these little babies in trays. There's 6 trays of them. I have 2 orange and there's a couple more over there of pink and purple. So I just wanted to walk you through real quick how we started all of these. So a couple of weeks ago, sorry, you'll have to forgive the fence. I'm hiding from the direct sun at the moment so that I can talk to you guys. So I just wanted to walk you through how we got these sprouted and the whole process for ranunculus one more time. So I'll try, I know I did a video a couple of months ago about this, so I'll put some clips up just so you can see some of the steps that I don't have with me in front of me. When you get your corms in, if you order them in or buy them at the store, they will be dried up little octopus looking little bitty bulbs. They're actually corms. What you do to get them going, we do what's called pre-sprouting. So we do this because it just gets them a leg up, and you can see which corms are viable, which ones are not, and it gives them a jump start on the season. So we have a whole batch of them, and I'll grab some video and put it up there right over here. That is all ranunculus in those first 3 rows, and this one is anemone, and the process for anemone is the same as ranunculus, but we planted those ones back in the fall. They do really well in this zone most of the time. Temperature wise, to be planted in the fall, the struggle that we have is the amount of rain that we get can be detrimental. They can rot if they sit in too much water. But we had a fairly decent winter so far. The row covers that I have over them is sufficient, and it has kept them warm enough. Even we had a stretch of 15 degree, 12 degree weather, but we had the cover and some frost cloth, and we even ran Christmas lights under there to keep them nice and toasty. And they came through that just fine. So back to the corms. So you soak them. So what we do is we get a bucket and of water. I put them in mesh bags with a label in there so you don't forget what you have, and then you just put it in a bucket. I put a fish pump in there so that it's constantly aerated, and you just let them soak for 3 or 4 hours. And in that amount of time, the little dried corms will plump up, and they will double or triple in size depending on how well they do. And once they've done that, we take seed tray just like this one, and we put a layer of dirt down, a layer of soil down, just maybe 1/2 inch or so, and then we line up all of our corms, and then we cover them with dirt. And then generally you put them somewhere that's cool and dark. The garage here does fairly well. I put them in the greenhouse and the farthest place away from the heater so that they would stay relatively cool. And then you just wait. Make sure that they stay moist. You don't want them soaking wet, but you also don't want them to dry out. And then after a couple of weeks, you'll start to see little bits of green, and they start to look like this. They have all these pretty white little roots and a shoot that's coming up the top. And these are absolutely ready to go. Now, I know it's middle of February. It seems early to be planting things in the ground, but like I said, the other ones, I mean, they can overwinter. The reason I'm doing it in 2 batches is so that I get sort of a succession of flowers. All of the corms that we planted in the fall, they should bloom a couple, 2 or 3 weeks earlier than these ones, and they'll also, because they've had such a good chance to get their roots in there and dig them deep, they'll also likely produce more flowers than these ones will. But I was more interested in having a succession so that when those ones peter out, these ones are still going for a couple of weeks, than I was to about the actual number of flowers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my trusty little spade here, and I'm going to trench rows in these 3 beds. They've been covered up all winter. I just came through and weeded out what happened to sprout. And what I'm going to dig, I think I'm going to start with just 5 rows. So I'll put one in the middle, a couple on either side. And these ranunculus can be planted here at about 6 inches apart. Some places will tell you 9 inches, some will say 4 inches. So I'm sort of splitting the difference, and I'm going to go with 6. And I'll just have the rows trenched in there, and then I take this PVC pipe. It's trying to get you out of the sun, and I've marked it every 6 inches with these little black Sharpie lines. And what I do, once I have my trenches on there, I just lay it down across it, and you can see where those lines are, and it tells me where. It gives me an easy way to space out my corms without having to measure everything out and dig an individual one for each. Some people also will take Hortonova netting. It's a plastic netting that's got grids at about 4 or 5 inches each, and they'll lay that out and just plant a corm in each of the holes, which is an effective method too. For me, it's easier to just trench them and then fill them with the corms and just use the pole or the pipe to space them out properly. So yeah, I'm going to, and then after that's done, cover them all up. I will not water them in. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, which should be fine. So ranunculus are heavy feeders. They like a lot of fertilizer or compost. We amended this soil pretty heavily this fall before we put it to bed for the season. So it's pretty good. I am going to spread some organic fertilizer, biotone, down in there before I plant my corms. But then after they come back up and get really going, I will do a once a week fertilizing with an organic fish fertilizer. That's what I've been doing on the ones over here, and they are very happy. Some of the nicest, best looking plants that I've grown so far of ranunculus. So that's partly due to the weather too. So that's what the plan is for today. I'm gonna set up a camera, show you the process, and then once it's all done, I will come back and wrap it all up and show you what the end result looks like, which honestly won't be a whole lot because it'll be little teeny bits of green sticking up from the ground. Okay, let's get going. Okay guys, they're all planted. I'll let you take a look. Like I said, not a lot to see. You can see little bits of the top of them, but I'll follow along as these all grow, and I'll take video and I'll show you. Eventually they'll all look like this. That's the goal. These anemones and all those ranunculus. But in the meantime, we're just keep an eye on them, keep them weeded, make sure everything is good. I did end up having to put an extra row into each of these beds. I don't think I mentioned earlier, these are 4 foot wide. So an extra row, 6 rows, turn into 240-ish corms per bed, which is perfect. I did end up with a few extra leftovers at the end. But I'll just either find new homes for them or pot them up and take them to market. Yeah, so that's it for today. We got everything done that I wanted to, and the sun is still out, though the clouds are starting to roll in. It's supposed to get cold and rainy. There might even be snow in a couple days. But anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. Thanks for coming along, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.